Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. There was lots of movement on General Hospital today, Friday, May 2nd, 2025. If you missed it, here is a nifty recap below. It looks like nearly all of PCU has decided to hit the beach for an evening bonfire. Danny Morgan, Asher Antonizin, has talked Rocco Falconeri, Finn Carr, to go even though they are still in high school. They grab some of the spiked punch as a way of fitting in, and while Danny just holds his cup, Rocco actually drinks his and gets another. They eventually split up and Rocco ends up passing out on the beach by himself. Meanwhile, Emma Drake, Braden Bruner, and Gio Palmieri, Giovanni Mazza bump into Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, on the beach. Vaughn just so happens to be getting out of the water and drying off nearby. He suggests that they hit the water. Emma and Gio decide to go in, which gives Joss a chance to take the flash drive from Emma's pocket. She corrupts it and then needs to figure out how to get it back in her hands so that she can turn it into Professor Dalton, Daniel Goddard. Lucy Coe, Lynn Herring, Maxie Jones, Kirsten Storms, and Lois Cerullo are at Deception's offices going over some plans for the nurses' ball. They talk about the drama that usually ensues and how they need to try and keep Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, away from it. Lois takes a moment to ask Maxie how her daughter is doing at work. She tells her that she is fine, but she can tell that something is really bothering her. A little while later, Brooklyn Quartermain, Amanda Seddon, shows up and Maxie asks how she is doing. BLQ tells her that she has to pick a side, hers or Lulu Spencer's, Alexa Havins, because she just can't fully trust her if she remains Lulu's friend too. Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson, convinced Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, to go with him to GH for a drug test. He wants to prove to her that he wasn't in his right mind when he was caught with an escort. His results show that he had ketamine in his system. Now Willow needs to figure out whether she believes that someone drugged him, or if he partied too hard in her absence. Willow leaves as Drew decides to file a police report. Meanwhile, Carly shows up on Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watro's doorstep to praise her handiwork with Drew. Getting the escort to spike his drink was the perfect plan, and then Drew imploded all by himself. Nina shares how heartbroken she was to cause Willow pain, despite knowing that it had to be done. The ladies run through possible scenarios of what could happen next, until they are interrupted by Willow's arrival. Now that BLQ has blurted out to Tracy Quartermain, Jane Elliott, that she gave a child up for adoption when she was a teenager, she had to go back and fill in those blanks for her grandmother. Brooklyn tells her the whole story, with the exception of sharing who the father was. She also explains how Lulu has been trying to blow up her life ever since she found out. Tracy is wonderfully supportive of her granddaughter and also a bit heartbroken that Brooklyn was afraid to tell her the truth. After she leaves, Tracy is sitting alone when Lois comes into the room. Tracy asks her point blank where her great-grandson is. Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, is arguing with Lulu over the adoption article that she is working on. He asks her not to do it as a favor for him, because all of her meddling is hurting Brooklyn. Lulu refuses because this is about her work and finding her footing again as a journalist. The conversation shifts towards Lulu's recent behavior, and Dante lets it slip that he knows that she is still in love with him. Lulu admits it, and explains that before her coma she was on her way to tell him that she wanted to be with him again. She admits that the person that she is actually jealous of is Sam, because that is who Dante is still in love with. He admits that he is in love with Sam, and then Dante shares that he is also still in love with Lulu. Port Charles never sleeps, and when it does, someone usually wakes it up with a scandal. The May 2nd episode of General Hospital delivered just the right balance of sunshine and storm clouds, as what began as an innocent beach gathering turned into a dramatic whirlwind. Elsewhere, trust took center stage as Willow faced the unsettling possibility that her entire world might be reshaped, and in a rare moment of clarity, she chose to listen to someone who's been keeping secrets, Drew Kane. Let's dive into all the waves, both literal and emotional, that rock the lives of our Port Charles residents. Sunny skies, dark undercurrents, trouble at the beach party. The Quartermain family hosted what was supposed to be a fun and relaxing beach party at the Metro Court pool area, an unofficial kickoff to summer. Guests arrived in high spirits. Jocelyn and Trina brought the music, Spencer arrived with an edge, and Dex, back in Port Charles after his mysterious absence, showed up with more eyes on him than sand on his shoes. Brooklyn and Chase were on hosting duty, trying to maintain good vibes while also attempting to steal some romantic moments together. Their chemistry was undeniable, but every time they got close, another guest interrupted them. This time it was Sasha, arriving fashionably late with Cody Bell in tow. Cody, usually the king of awkward, was surprisingly charming, until he noticed Max Scorpio watching him from a distance, clearly brooding about their unresolved father-son tension. Meanwhile, Christina Corinthos Davis arrived with Blaze, who was still a little gun-shy about making their relationship fully public. Christina, ever bold, held her hand anyway, drawing smiles, and a few side eyes, from nosy partygoers. But it was Molly's appearance that really turned heads. Still recovering emotionally from her surrogacy ordeal, she tried to act fine, but a run-in with TJ revealed deep cracks in their relationship. The two exchanged frosty pleasantries, hinting that their once solid bond may be slowly eroding. But the real drama began when Spencer and Dex locked eyes, and locked horns. The tension over Jocelyn exploded when Dex made a pointed remark about Spencer's habit of abandoning people when they need him most. The comment was a veiled jab about Esme and Ace, and Spencer took the bait. Fists nearly flew, and it was only Jocelyn's firm intervention that broke the two apart. Her fierce loyalty to Dex was noted, and it clearly wounded Spencer. However, not everyone noticed the brawl brewing, because a more dangerous situation was unfolding in the shadows. Charlotte's shadow games, and Valentine's guilt. Charlotte Cassadine, still struggling with residual trauma and manipulated loyalties, had sneaked away from her security detail to attend the beach party unnoticed. What began as an act of rebellion soon spiraled into something darker. Charlotte's behavior was erratic. She was eavesdropping, sneaking photos with her phone, and keeping unusually close to Anna and Valentine, though they hadn't seen her. When Valentine did finally spot his daughter in the crowd, it was too late. Charlotte had overheard him talking to Anna about the Pikeman situation and his uneasy alliance with them. The look on Charlotte's face said it all: betrayal. Valentine tried to reason with her, but Charlotte stormed off. Anna chased after her, but Charlotte disappeared, and as Valentine stood helplessly watching the chaos unfold, it was clear his choices were finally coming back to haunt him. He confessed to Anna that he's in deeper than he'd admitted, and that the consequences could now reach Charlotte, too. Anna, torn between compassion and fury, told him that if he doesn't come clean to the authorities soon, she might do it for him. Willow faces the truth, and trusts Drew. While beach drama was stealing the spotlight, inside GH, Willow Corinthos was confronting a quieter, but no less devastating, storm. Still recovering from her recent medical battles, Willow had returned to work at the hospital, but a nagging feeling had settled over her since Carly's confession about Nina and the SEC leak. She knew something wasn't adding up. Michael had been defensive, Carly was unusually evasive, and Nina, well, Nina had been far too quiet. Drew Kane asked to speak with her alone, and when he did, he dropped the truth Willow had feared. Nina had turned Carly and Drew into the SEC. Willow's initial reaction was one of disbelief, but Drew laid out the facts, gently but firmly. He didn't attack Nina outright, instead framing her actions as desperate, misguided, and fueled by long-standing resentment. Willow listened carefully, her face a tapestry of emotions: shock, betrayal, grief. But what surprised Drew most was her final reaction: she believed him. Not only did she believe him, but she also thanked him for telling her directly. "I'd rather hear the truth now than be protected by lies forever," she said. "If I can't trust the people closest to me, what kind of life am I building for my children?" Willow then asked for time, not just from Drew, but from everyone. She needed to sort through her emotions before confronting Nina, and before deciding how this would impact her relationship with Michael, who had clearly been hiding the truth. Drew respected her wish and left her alone in the GH chapel, where she lit a candle and whispered a prayer, not just for guidance, but for strength. Michael's dilemma, and Carly's regret. Back at the Quartermain mansion, Michael was dealing with his own crisis. He knew Willow was close to finding out about Nina, and he regretted not telling her first. Carly, sensing his turmoil, tried to offer motherly advice, but even she seemed weary. After all, Carly had played her own part in keeping secrets, and though she and Drew were trying to rebuild, the cracks were showing. "You can't lie to protect someone from pain," Carly admitted. "Because the lie is the pain." Michael knew she was right. Whether his silence was meant to protect Willow or punish Nina, the effect was the same: more damage. He decided he would come clean to Willow that night, unaware she already knew. Curtis makes a move, while Trina watches the fallout. Curtis Ashford, freshly cleared by doctors to begin therapy for his paralysis, arrived at the beach party to surprise Trina. He was in good spirits and trying to reclaim control of his life, but his cheerful demeanor masked something deeper, uncertainty about his future with Portia. Portia was cordial, but distant. She'd been spending more time at GH and less time at home, and Curtis felt the cold wall growing between them. Trina noticed, too. Her father's pain was evident, and though she tried to lift his spirits, she also reminded him gently that healing takes time, both physical and emotional. Later, Curtis found himself alone by the water, watching the sunset, wondering if he was strong enough to rebuild not just his body, but his fractured marriage. The calm before the next storm. As night fell over Port Charles, the beach party thinned out, leaving behind empty chairs, half-filled drinks, and echoes of arguments unresolved. Spencer stood alone, staring out at the waves. Jocelyn walked past without looking back. Dex lingered just long enough to catch her hand. Cody watched Sasha laugh with Chase and Brooke Lynn, a smile on his face, but sadness in his eyes. Valentine sat beside Anna, holding her hand as if it might be the last time. And Willow? She returned home quietly, her mind racing, her heart heavy, but her decision made. She would confront Nina, but not in anger. In truth. And that, in Port Charles, is the most dangerous weapon of all. Thanks for watching this video and please subscribe our GH News 24 YouTube channel for more update news.